be here because this is one of the most fulfilling parts of the work we do at the OSA. And for those of you who've worked with us before, I want to call out we've got Rose Hensey Allen in the back here, and Molly. Let's give it up for the people who you work with directly. Sometimes they're your first call for help. Sometimes that's your only call for help if you're a fire relief, particularly. I'm here because I really appreciate the kind of people that can show up to a lobby day on this. I know that you're the kind of people that when you were little kids and you were playing with the fire trucks, I know you had one friend that said, I'll drive the truck, and I'm like, I want to go on the ladder, and you said, I want to go back and do the spreadsheet to make sure people are able to qualify for their fair benefits. Yeah, seriously. People know your heroism when they see it in the news. They see that kind of stuff. I am thinking about you when you were in the middle of the night trying to look at legislation. I'm the one thinking about you in the middle of the night. You're trying to figure out your budget. That's when you're especially a hero to me. So no, the OSA is cheering you on in those very boring moments. If you have a boring moment, we're cheering for you. I also am so glad that you're here to talk about particularly your pensions, because of the groups that come to the Capitol, you all are some of the best prepared to talk about your pension and to help people understand it. Because it's something that can be complicated enough that legislators often believe they understand it. I got to say, before I got this job, I thought I understood it. And then, of course, the old saying is, if you know one fire relief, you know one fire relief. If you know one department, you know one department. So they really need to be able to put stories onto these details. So you're really important today. Also, I want to remind us how important pension is. One of the things that we so often get pressure from a variety of groups, say at the State Board of Investment, to try to do something else with the fund. You know, can we solve this problem with the fund? Can we make this statement with the fund? I just want to commit to you that no, that is not how we operate. The fund is for keeping our promises to retirees. That's what we use the fund for, and that's it. All right? We want to look at everything that's available, but ultimately, our job is to keep our promises to you. And so helping people understand how important that is also terrific. But mostly, again, I thank you for showing up. I thank you for all of the detail you do, all the stuff you never thought you'd be doing. Thank you for all of it. It really matters, and it keeps the public trust. So have a wonderful day. Again, thank you. Oh, they don't leave me the mic? Oh, no, sorry.
Thanks, Auditor Blaha. Next up, we're going to have Representative Kristen Robbins. So Representative Kristen Robbins represents District 37A in northwestern Twin City metro area. Originally from Crookston, Minnesota, Representative Robbins holds a BA in Economics and Political Science from Bethel University and a Master's in Economics from Washington University in St. Louis. Before her election, she worked as the Legislative Director for former U.S. Representative Harris Falwell and served as Deputy Chair of the Senate District 34 Republicans. Elected to the House in 2018, Representative Robbins has served in leadership roles, including Assistant Minority Leader. Representative Robbins currently serves as the chair of the newly founded Fraud Committee, where she leads efforts to combat fraud and protect taxpayer collections. Representative Robbins is a committed advocate for public safety and a strong supporter of the Minnesota Fire Service. Please welcome Representative Robbins.
Good morning. So great to see all of you. Thank you so much for being here today. It really matters when you come to the Capitol and share the issues that are going on. But I'm mostly here to say thank you. I know how hard you all work in our communities every day, and that your job is very stressful, and that we don't have enough of you, and that we need to keep recruiting, and the pension issue is one of the ways that we can keep focus on recruitment and retention. So I really appreciate all your hard work. And I've been able to work closely with Chief Bullen and others over the last few years on some policy issues for the firefighters. They brought to me the idea, my local fire chief in Maple Plain brought the concern about what was going on with how earn sick and safe time and the regulation around that was going to affect paid on-call volunteers, and how that was really going to mess with their training requirements and some of their scheduling. So working with the chief, we were able to get language passed last session to address that. So I'm someone who just likes to roll up my sleeves and figure out how to solve problems, and we were able to do that. Also very thrilled that I was able to help on the pension merger in my district, where we had Hamel Fire merged with Loretto Fire to create the new West Hennepin Fire District, and I think that was very successful and is a great model for a lot of other people looking to create fire districts. So anyway, that's sort of been my interaction. I'm very proud to get the endorsement of my local firefighters and the Minnesota professional firefighters, and it's always just an honor to work with you. I'm a strong supporter from the original Hometown Heroes Act to now, and the bill we just passed off the House floor last week with all green votes, so strong bipartisan support for all of you and the work you do in our communities. And I just want to continue that work and continue to build the fire service. You're just a critical backbone to what goes on in our communities. I see it firsthand in my district, and how you guys cooperate and help each other out. We've had huge fires in our area where everyone shows up. Like, it doesn't matter. You come, you're there, you're supporting the community, and we want to support you. So I don't serve on the Pensions Commission. I know that's one of your top issues this year, but I know from my colleagues on the Pension Commission that they are really taking a hard look of how we can improve that and make it better for firefighters. So I hope we can get that done. I honestly, I don't want to overpromise because I'm not on the committee and I don't know what the target will be for this year, but it's something that I think we all know is critical to sustaining the fire service and the commitment in our communities. So really want to support that. Also, local control on building codes, I'm with you on all of that, and I appreciate all your good work. Even my own parents, my parents live in a townhome development for seniors, and someone came and inspected my parents' fire alarms and CO2 detectors, and they were just shocked that that was happening just for free coming in. And the gentleman who came in their townhome community was just so kind and took a lot of time, that probably he didn't have on his calendar that day, and it was just very impressive. So anyway, I'm always a resource for you. I'm always here to help solve problems and help support the fire men and women in our communities. So any way I can be of help, please reach out. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here.
All right, I'm here to introduce Governor Tim Walz, who is our 41st governor of the Minnesota. He was elected in 2018, then re-elected again in 2022. Born and raised in a small rural town in Nebraska, Governor Walz enlisted in the Army National Guard after graduating from high school. He went on to earn a degree in social science and from Chadron State College. After 24 years of service, he retired in 2005 as a Command Sergeant Major with the 125th Field Artillery Battalion. In 2006, Governor Walz won his first election to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing Minnesota's 1st Congressional District in southern Minnesota. He was re-elected 5 more times before becoming governor. Since taking office, Governor Walz has remained committed to making Minnesota the best state in the nation. We're excited that he's in office, and he'll be helping us with our pensions this year. Please welcome Governor Walz.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all, and welcome to the Capitol. Thank you, Mr. President, for your work and your advocacy for this group. It's good to have you up here. It's perfect timing on this. Over the weekend, the House and Senate got out their target numbers, so the budget numbers are out there, and now it's the sausage making between now and May of how do you get things done. And I think when you ask Minnesotans, they ask us to take care of the priorities, take care of their children, take care of public safety, take care of infrastructure. They want us to go down and make sure that happens. And I think for many of you know, this becomes more difficult to do every single year, the jobs that you're doing, whether it's the price of equipment or the price of doing the job. I'm proud in Minnesota that we've recognized, especially amongst our firefighters and our emergency responders, exposure to toxic chemicals is a real thing, and you and your family shouldn't have to fight for those things. Those are line of duties. Those are line of duties that, first of all, we should take care care of when they come up, but more importantly, we should prevent them from happening, making sure we're providing the resources necessary for the training and equipment that goes forward. We talked in here a little bit about the fire safety account, making sure those are things that are foundational to getting this done, and then the things like our public safety budgets. So what you're going to see is 3 sets of numbers from the Senate, from the House, and from us, and somewhere along that line, we need to come up with some middle ground on it. Having you here advocating for those helps, because if I make the case for increased money in it, the other side pushes back on some of that and vice versa. And I know that and I'll tell you this, this organization's leadership has pressed and has made it clear that the pension system in our state is not as robust as it needs to be. This isn't, you're not in this job. You didn't take it for a pension, especially all the young folks. When they tell you what your pension's gonna be, you don't really think about it. But when you're in this business this long and you've given what it is, you expect to be treated fairly on the back end, and having a fair, defined benefit pension plan is a really important thing. So I'm glad to see across the 3 budgets, there's money in there for pensions. They vary on how it's going to be done. That's what you'll be up here today to make the case for. So truly grateful. I know at times it feels like there's lots of division. I would argue there's very little division around supporting public safety, supporting those that are there to respond, knowing that when you dial 911, all they care about is somebody gets there and somebody gets there fast. That is what matters. We also know that you've been asked over the years, this profession has changed dramatically. The number of calls that you have to respond to opioid overdoses has skyrocketed just in many of your own careers, and the cost of those calls and the toll that it wages on people are dramatic. So the general public's not thinking about that. When that call comes into you, many of those times it's to go save somebody from an opioid overdose. And we as a society need to understand we can't let all the problems fall back onto you at that last minute. We need to do the things necessary on the front end and then to provide you what's necessary. So I'm grateful you're here. It does matter when you're up there. Talk to those legislators. There's bipartisan support around the issues that you care about. And I can tell you the pride that I have in seeing that we're able to move some of these initiatives forward is what Minnesotans sent us here to do. So I'm glad you're here. Good luck up there, right? I know a lot of them aren't here today. They're on their break, but you'll be around. You'll see them. You'll make the case. It matters. And then you talk to the public and talk to the press about what you're asking for, because it's my hope is those who've been in this profession for a long time continue to serve. You retire with a dignified retirement and health care benefits. But we've got young folks that see this as a noble profession. I think you know, when kids are little, they aspire to great things. When you ask them what they want to do, a lot of them don't say, oh, I want to be the governor and get yelled at. They say, I want to be a firefighter, or I want to be a police officer, or I want to be a teacher or a nurse or something. Folks know what matters, and they stand with you. So don't allow our politics to divide us around the most important issue of public safety and the support of those willing to do it. So thank you for having me. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks to the governor for making it today. Next, I'm going to introduce our assistant